We always win. You're our champion. Oh, we celebrate our champion. We sing hallelujah. We lift our hands, our voice. We celebrate our champion. We sing hallelujah, Victoria. You are the awesome one. There's none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, who was the awesome one? There is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, we lift our hands. We lift our voice. We celebrate our champion. We sing hallelujah for the King with Victoria. We lift our hands. We lift our voice. We celebrate our champion. We sing hallelujah for the King with Victoria. You are the awesome one. There's none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, you was the awesome one. There's none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. Yahuwah is the awesome one. There is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome one. There's none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. And we always win. You're our champion. Oh, we lift our hands. We lift our voice. We celebrate our champion. For the King who is victorious. We lift our hands. We lift our voice. We celebrate our champion. We sing hallelujah, hallelujah, for the King who is victorious. You are the awesome one. There's none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, you are the awesome one. There's none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, Yahuwah is the awesome one. There's none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, we lift our hands. We lift our voice. We celebrate our champion. We sing hallelujah, hallelujah, for the King you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, we lift our hands. We lift our voice. We celebrate our champion. We sing hallelujah, for the King who is victorious. We lift our hands, we lift our voice, we celebrate our champion. We sing hallelujah, for the King who is victorious. You are the awesome one. There's none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, you are the awesome one. There is none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, you are the awesome one. There's none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, you are the awesome one. And there's none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. We can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, you are the awesome one. There's none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. Oh, you are the awesome one. There's none like you. With you we win. You're our champion. You we can't lose. We always win. You're our champion. You are the awesome one. There's none like you. With you, we always win. You're our champion. We lift our hands. We lift our voice. We celebrate our champion. We sing hallelujah, for the King who is victorious. We lift Greetings from messengers of the U.S. Kingdom of Great Belief Congregation located in South Carolina. As we've gathered here this Yom to commemorate and celebrate a time of rest, our time of Shabbat. I want to welcome you and you to this time, this exciting time. At this time, we're going to begin with the Baruch of the Torah, and then we're going to go into the reading of the Ten Commandments. And it is so.
And it is so.
All right, repeat with me. Baruch Yahuwah.
Baruch Yahuwah.
The Baruch one.
The Baruch one.
Baruch is Yahuwah.
Baruch is Yahuwah.
The Baruch one.
The Baruch
For
one.
all eternity.
For all eternity.
Baruch atah.
Baruch atah.
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
Our supreme one.
Our supreme
King of the universe.
King of the universe.
Who selected us from all the peoples.
Who selected us from all the peoples.
And gave us his Torah.
And gave us his Torah.
Baruch atah.
Baruch atah.
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
Give of the Torah.
Give of the Torah.
And it is so.
And it is so.
Baruch atah.
Baruch atah.
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
Our supreme one.
Our supreme one.
King of the universe.
King of the universe.
Who gave us the Torah of truth.
Who gave us the Torah of truth.
And implanted eternal life within us.
And implanted eternal life within us.
Baruch atah.
Baruch atah.
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
Give of the Torah.
Give of the Torah.
And it is so.
And it is so.
And it is so.
And it is so.
Now we'll have the reading of the Ten Commandments done by Mattathias. And it is so.
And it is so.
Deuteronomy 5, verses 6 to 22. Aleph. I am Yahuwah, your power which brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim from the bed of slavery. Bed, you shall have no other power before me. You shall not make you any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in Shemayim above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the mind beneath the earth. You shall not bow down yourself unto them nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah, your power, and is power. Visiting the iniquity of the others upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that are me and keep my commandments. Gimel, you shall not take the name of Yahuwah your power and falsify it, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that takes his name and empties it. Dalet, guard the Sabbath day to set it apart, as Yahuwah your power has commanded you. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah your power. In it you shall not do any work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your ox, nor your ass, nor any of your cattle, nor your foreman that is within your gates, that your manservant and your maidservant may rest as well as you. And remember that you were a servant in the land of Mitzrayim, and that Yahuwah your power brought you out of there through a mighty hand and by a stretched out arm. Therefore Yahuwah your power commanded you to keep the Sabbath day. Hey, esteem your Av and your Im as Yahuwah your power has commanded you, that your days may be prolonged and that it may go well with you in the land which Yahuwah your power is about to give you. Well, you shall not murder. Zain, neither shall you commit adultery. Ket, neither shall you steal. Tet, neither shall you bear false witness against your neighbor. You, neither shall you desire your neighbor's issue, neither shall you covet your neighbor's bed, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is your neighbor's. These words, and he wrote them in 2 tables of stone and delivered them unto me. And it is so.
And it is so. Devarim chapter 6, verses 1 through 18, and it reads, these are the commandments and the statutes and judgments which Yahuwah your power commanded to teach you, that you might do them in the land where you are going to enter and possess it, that you might fear Yahuwah your power to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command you, you and your son and your grandson, all the yamim of your life, and that your yamim may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Yasharal, and observe to do it, that it may be well with you, and that you go in and possess the great land which your Abbas sworn to, which power sworn to your Abbas has promised in the land that flows with milk and honey. Shema Yasharal. Hear, O Yasharal, Yahuwah, our supreme one. Yahuwah is Akkad. And you shall ahab Yahuwah your supreme one with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. And these words which I command you this yom shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your bed, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. To fall to what?
Bind to the mind.
To bind to the mind. And you shall write them upon the posts of your bed and on your gates. And it shall be when Yahuwah your power shall have brought you into the land which he swore unto your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Yaakov, to give you great cities which you did not build, houses full of all great things which you filled not, wells dug which you did not dig, excuse me, vineyards and olive trees which you did not plant. When you shall have eaten and be full, then beware lest you forget Yahuwah, which brought you forth out of the land of Mitzrayim, from the bed of slavery. You shall fear Yahuwah your power and serve him, and shall swear by his name. You shall not go after the power of the people which are round about you. For Yahuwah your power is a jealous power among you, lest the anger of Yahuwah your power be kindled against you, and he destroy you from off the face of the earth. You shall not tempt Yahuwah your power as you tempted him in Massah. You shall diligently keep the commandments of Yahuwah your power, and his testimonies and his statutes which he has commanded you. And you shall do that which is right in the sight of Yahuwah, that it may be well with you, and that you may go in and possess the great land which Yahuwah swore unto your fathers. And it is so.
And it is so.
And it is so. Come on, you. I'll be Yahuwah for you. Come on, praise him, praise him, praise him. He's worthy of all praise. He's worthy of all esteem. Come on, that's right. At this time, I want you to turn your attention with me to the writings of Yahush, the son of Nun, chapter 1, and we're going to read verses 6 through 8. We're going to recite verse 8, and we're going to read verses 6 and 7. Very familiar passage, and it is always very important in all of my classes, and even in our off time, we want to make sure that this is resounding in our ruach, and that this is the platform for all decisions and choices that we make each and every, in other words, every day and every night. We don't want this to depart out of our mouths. Why? Because the moment it departs out of our mouths is when we give the enemy access to do what he desires to do, and that is to make us act unwisely. And I don't know about you, but the years have taught me when you act unwise, it costs you more than you're willing to pay or you want to pay. So at this time, we're going to begin with verse 6, and then we're going to read 7, and then we're going to recite verse 8. Verse 6 says, "Be strong and of a great courage, for to this people shall you divide for an inheritance the land, which I swore to their Abbas to give them. Only be you strong and very courageous, that you may observe to do according to all the Torah which Moshe, my servant, commanded you. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may prosper wherever you go." Verse 8, "As I have tailored it to fit our time of confession." Repeat with me. "I will not let this scroll of the Torah
I will not let the scroll of the Torah
depart out of my mouth,
depart out of my mouth,
but I shall meditate in it,
but I shall meditate in it,
Yom and Layla,
Yom and
that
Layla,
I may observe to do
that I may observe to do
according to all that is written in it.
according to all that is written in it.
But then I shall make my way prosperous,
And then I shall make my way prosperous,
and then I shall act wisely."
and then I shall act
Now
wisely.
look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, you shall act wisely, and you shall act wisely. Look at your other neighbor and tell your other neighbor, you shall act wisely,
And you shall act wisely.
Now take your hand and place it over your heart and say, "Abba Yahuwah,
I'll be Yahuwah,
I shall act wisely."
I shall act wisely.
Come on, Abba Yahuwah,
I'll be Yahuwah,
I shall act wisely.
I shall act wisely.
I am determined
I am determined
to act wisely.
to act wisely.
I am determined
I am determined
to act wisely.
to act
Come on,
wisely.
one more time. I am determined
I am determined
to act wisely.
to act wisely.
And it is so.
And it is so.
And it is so very important that we act wisely, because when we act wisely, we will see the fruit of our labor. What is the fruit of your labor? The fruit should be that what your character possesses, that what your character emulates. And so if your fruit is not changing, there's a problem.
Right.
And so we want to make sure that we are getting better and not reverting and going backwards and getting worse. So it's very important that we look at these things. At this time, we're going to have a song. And it is so.
And it is
Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy, and all that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment, hope for all I do. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy, and all that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment, hope for all I do. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy, and all that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment, hope for all I do. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy, and all that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment, hope for all I do. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy, and all that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment, hope for all I do. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy, and all that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment, hope for all I do. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy, and all that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment, hope for all I do. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy, and all that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment, hope for all I do. You're the center of my joy. And all that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment. Oh, for all I do. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. And all that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment. Oh, for all I do. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. All that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment. Oh, for all I do. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. All that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment. You're the center of my joy. Yahuwah, you're the center of my joy. And all that's great and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment. Oh, for all I do. Yahuwah, you're the center of my
Come on, lift your voice. Praise him, praise him, praise him. Come on, praise him, praise him. Come on, all praise him, girl. Come on, let everything that has breath praise you out of it. You're worthy, you're worthy, you're worthy, you're worthy. You're worthy, you're worthy, you're worthy. He's worthy, he's worthy, and if he's worthy, we ought not have to say praise him. It ought to be spontaneous. Praise is commonly for the upright. And if you know you're upright, the song said, if you're happy and you know it, then you ought to clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then you ought to praise him. We need no, cheerleaders. It ought to be what we do because we ahab him. I do what I do because I ahab him.
Right.
I praise him because I ahab him, because I know the great things that he has done and he will continue to do for us as people. So once again, it's important that we praise him and we give him thanks because of all that he's doing, all that he's done. It's important that we do. At this time, we're going to have another song. We'll have another song. With everything that happened.
let everything that has breath praise Yahuwah. 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 Yeah, 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 let everything that has breath praise Yahuwah. 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 Yeah, 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 let everything that has breath praise Yahuwah. Let everything that has breath praise Yahuwah. Let everything Praise God. Let everything that has breath praise God. Let everything praise God. Let everything that has breath 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 praise God. Yeah, 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 Come on, he's worthy, he's worthy.
For yet another Shabbat, another time of rest, another time to come together and learn, another time to come together as a congregation to praise him, to extol him, to lift him up, and to celebrate gentleness and his commitment towards us, his people. It is a great thing to be in truth. It is a great thing to truly know who we are and know our purpose. I praise him each and every Layla and each and every Yom for this role. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. How about you? I appreciate him for what he's doing, what he's done, and what he's yet going to do. Mishlei 15:8, the sacrifices of the wicked is an abomination, hateful, and exceedingly offensive unto you all, Yahuwah, but the prayer of the upright, it is your delight. Mishlei 3:4, so shall ye find great understanding and high esteem in the sight or judgment of Yahuwah and man. And it is so.
And it is so.
Tehillim 34:15, the eyes of Yahuwah are upon the upright, and his ears are open unto our cry. Verse 17, the righteous cry, and Yahuwah heareth and delivereth us out of all our troubles. Acts 1:8, but we shall receive power after that the Ruach HaKodesh has come upon us, and we shall be witnesses unto him both in Jerusalem
And it is so.
Tehillim, and the seat of the scornful.